Hello, everybody. It is Tuesday, September 24th. I am Jenny Guy. I am Mediavine's marketing manager. We provide full service ad management for content creators, and we are on the amazing series Teal Talk, where I invite blogging experts from all around the industry to come in and talk about ways that you can make more money, live a better life, and continue to build a sustainable business as a content creator. I'm so excited to have with me today. Well, I know you guys have heard us talk about video. We talk about video all the time here at Mediavine. We started with the year of video in 2018. Then our CEO, Eric, expanded it to the decade of video. In the marketing department, we have a video called Video. So we can't get enough video. We love video. And today we are talking about ways to make it easier for you to make video. I am here with Jeff Kahsen of Animoto. He is the Senior Director of Strategic Partnerships and Business Customer Advocate. He leads the company's strategic efforts to make it easy for marketers to quickly create professional videos for websites, email, and social media to promote their business. Over the past 10 years, Jeff has collaborated closely with platforms including YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter, all the big ones, to help define video best practices and translate those into Animoto templates so all businesses, large and small, can speak video easily and effectively to achieve their marketing goals. Hey, Jeff, thank you for joining me today.
What's up, Jenny? Good to be here.
We're pretty excited. I've got to say also, thank you so much for having a somewhat on-brand wall back behind you.
Yeah, I took that in mind. I said, hey, do we have a teal wall? And we didn't, but then they came in and painted one, so it's great.
I appreciate you really looking out for our branding concerns. That is excellent. So tell me a little bit about what Animoto is, because you know and I know that everybody understands that they want video, that video is the way to really increase their earnings, specifically through advertising revenue, which is why we talk about it so much at Mediavine. But it's not only there where video is getting preferential treatment, it's through all the social media platforms. It's everywhere. So tell me what Animoto does to make this easier for content creators.
Yeah, absolutely. Animoto is a video platform that really makes it easy for anyone to create professional and powerful video. We've got a ton of businesses, small business owners, entrepreneurs that are creating video with our platform using best practices that we have built in with our templates, and really using that to unlock a lot of the value that you're seeing with video. As we know, it's hard to make, or it used to be hard to make, and you used to have a video team or a lot of time. But our platform is really designed to make it really easy, and it's got a lot of features that really make it simple for anyone to create video.
Absolutely. And what we always say about video is that it's why we are pushing everyone to create it, is because it's what advertisers are wanting. We cannot keep enough video inventory in to supply for all the pre-roll advertising that we have from all of our partners. So really, and again, it doesn't need to be that you go out and hire a film crew for thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars that you need to create a video. You can create a video. So let's start here. What are the benefits of incorporating video on your website?
Yeah, there's a lot of different studies that are out around the benefits of video, and you've probably heard them too. But really at the core of it, it's how consumers want to consume information. It's how people want to consume information. They don't necessarily want to read a long article. They prefer to consume with video. It's more engaging. There's a stat that I saw the other day from Forrester that said that consumers spend 88% more time on a website if it has video. 88% more. And so that is a huge benefit there. Longer time on site means that they're getting into more areas of your site. They're getting to know you better. And that's also another one that we found, is that video is a great way to communicate what's important about you and to show your personality and all of that. So, those are some huge benefits there. Another one that I'm sure we'll talk about as well is SEO, the search engine optimization. Videos on landing pages are known to get higher on the first page of search results. Forrester, again, in the same article that I was reading, said that a web page with a video is 53% more likely to rank higher than pages without it. So 53% more often, you're going to rank on your page higher. And so, yeah, a lot of that, those are some of the benefits there.
So yeah, and with everything that we say always at Mediavine, when we talk about best practices and things that we are asking people to do, yes, number one, it's going to earn you more money, but two, you're giving your audience and Google what they want. So the best practices are always 2 to 3 fold. You're not only giving the search engines what they want, which is going to increase your ranking and your traffic, you're giving your audience what they're begging for, which is the way to consume your content in a more accessible form. And then you're going to see a benefit with your bottom line as well. So really it's win, 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 win. Like we can't just say double win, it's all the wins. Winning all the time, as our friend Charlie Sheen would say. So talking about what are the basic minimal things that you need to create a video with Animoto?
A story.
Okay.
You need to have a message. And that's really all you need to have. We have seen a lot of our customers be successful just having something to tell. And you know, with the platform, given that we provide a stock library of photos and video clips and music that is cleared for commercial usage, really the bare minimum is having a message. And just with that, you can tell a story, you can convey that message with video.
So yeah, so not even so great. So basically pictures and a story. You come to Animoto, you bring that, and all of the amazing thing about all of our content creators, which I'm sure you're finding is a difference between them and working with marketing professionals or brands. They already have all the stories. They've already got a big stock of them.
Exactly, and that's why it's such a prime opportunity for your audience, because they have all of the content there already, and it's just amazingly simple. You know, as we'll show, I think in a little bit, using the templates that we have to convert those written stories into video form, just by copying and pasting some of the text and selecting some imagery assets that reflect that text. It's super simple.
And simple is what we're looking for. We were talking before the live that content creators these days are pulled in so many directions that it can be really, really overwhelming to hear about yet another avenue where they need to be learning. There's a learning curve to devote their time, to devote their resources. And I think that what we're saying with Animoto is you don't have to devote a ton of your time pie to this to get the great benefits of video, to have that experience for your readers, for your audience, and for also to have that inventory that you can increase your RPM and get those great CPMs that we're seeing from video.
Absolutely. And based on what I've seen, the heavy lifting is already done with your audience, because they have taken the time to write the content. You know, we worked with a couple of Mediavine bloggers, as we'll talk about, and they simply just took the content that they already had, a couple of the main points from that content, and put that in the video form without much time whatsoever. So the hard part is typically determining what the narrative arc is, you know, what the story that they want to tell is, what the narrative arc is, and then finding all the imagery that goes with it. But you know, it's not that complicated because the story is already written. It's really easy to convert that.
We love hearing that. So I've got a question now from the audience, and then we're going to talk about that kind of case study that we did with 2 Mediavine publishers. But from Lance Cothern, with Animoto, do I still have rights to use the images and music in your library after my subscription ends?
Yeah, absolutely. You have the, yes, you have the rights to use the images that you have in your videos until the end of time. You know, you don't have to continue having a paid subscription in order to use those.
Wonderful. Good to know. Good to cover yourself legally. Thank you, Lance. Lance was on a live a few weeks ago, and he's an I daughter and a T crosser. So we're glad to hear that, Lance. Okay. So let me ask you a question, guys. If you're watching, tell us if you're using video, and tell us what kind of results you've seen. And if you're not using video, what is the barrier to doing it? Post that in the comments so we can kind of talk it out, because what we did with Jeff, we worked with Jeff to figure out ways that we could make video more accessible for media Mediavine publishers. And we had a couple of publishers who were finding it a little bit challenging or maybe not applicable to them in their niche as finance publishers, that video was going to be a successful way to tell their stories to their audience. We actually worked with two different publishers. Jeff worked with them, and we worked with two Mediavine Christy from Money Bliss and Gina from Money Wise Moms. And tell us a little bit about the work you did with them, Jeff.
Yeah, so it wasn't much, but we both of them wanted to use video on their site. They had heard about the great benefits that you've been touting and that Mediavine's been talking about, and so they were really interested in doing that. But they were having a little bit of trouble understanding how to sort of use some of our templates that may have been geared for a different niche market, right? They may have been a food video, or how-to. And they wanted to know how they could easily convert it into a finance video. And really, at the end of the day, there's no difference. Having a blog teaser for a food blog is no different than having a blog teaser for a finance blog. And so we worked with them, identified a blog post that they wanted to promote, and then created a video within, I want to say within maybe 45 minutes, they had that first video, and then using the great tools that Mediavine has to post that video on the page, they were able to do that successfully. And it's been great to see, especially because they didn't necessarily stop there. Once they started seeing the benefits there, they've been creating a ton of videos to all different places on the site.
So we've got some feedback here from our audience. So we've got Tina Stevens-Brown who said, using video, trying to increase my video library. We've got Noreen Welburn Rogers said she's using video through Lumen 5 and she's found a 20% increase in her revenue. And then our friend Christy from Money Bliss said she's very excited to be here and to help other Mediavine publishers overcome the video hurdle.
Hi, Christy.
Hi, Christy. Good to see you. And then Lance, who was commenting earlier, said he added a single reader favorites video across his site. That single video resulted in over $200 over the last 30 days.
That's great.
Alone. So it's pretty good. Would now be a good time, Jeff, to kind of show the way that you worked with Money Wise Moms? Show that video. Okay. Great, guys. We're going to try to do some screen sharing. I want you to be prepared. I'm doing some complicated things here, so be patient with me. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see how this works.
Yeah, let's see it.
Let's see if we can get this going and you guys can see it. There we go. Jeff, can you see it?
Yeah, I can. So basically what we did is we went to the website, and there are a ton of different templates on Animoto depending on what your use case is, whether you're promoting a webinar or doing some industry insights, or this one, which is just a blog teaser. On the blog teaser, we worked with HubSpot to actually build out what that blog teaser was. And so once you selected it, all we have to do is just update the text. So you get in there, it's very much a drag and drop thing. We updated all the text, and then we use the stock image library to look up text that was relevant to the content. So this was a top things to do in Washington, D.C., and it was visiting the Washington Monument and going to the zoo and going to the Capitol building. And what was awesome was that there was a ton of stock footage in our library that fit every single one of these. Whether it was, footage from MoMA or going to the National Archives, going to a park, and it was tremendous. So to my point earlier that you don't even need to have footage, we've made it super simple by actually providing a library, an extensive library, whether you're talking about, whatever you're talking about, even, museums. And so once we had that, then we were able to, tighten as you want to get out of the video. And then once that was done, we just simply clicked on preview and got the video. And you're sort of seeing what that looked like right now. A little bit choppy due to the screen share, but you can. I think that we're putting some links into the broadcast so that you can see where these videos are and see them in their full view.
In their entirety.
Yes, thank you very much.
Of
They were
course.
meant to be viewed by people like you and me. Yeah, so that's what we ended up doing. And what was nice was that once this video was done, it's kind of like your own little template, right? It's on brand. It's got your colors there. It has your sites there, even a watermark that represents your brand. And what they were able to easily do is just simply copy that and use that as a template for future videos and just drag in new information right there.
So awesome, so easy, and very. So I've got some comments here that we've got some great shares. So Sarah Swarthout Wagner says, my site shares American-made products, mostly lists, stuff we love, made in the USA, etc. She does has one video that highlights our top source lists and encourages readers to use our search box to find what they're looking for. She says she's stuck for more ideas. She's seen some benefits from the one video. Will I get more return for more videos? Is Sarah's question.
Yeah, and I will go on a limb and say yes, Sarah. You'll get more returns. There's a lot of different ways that you can use video, and that's something that we can talk about real quick. You can do your lists, any industry insights or thought leadership that you have. You can share an FAQ in video form. As we talked about, just a blog teaser to sort of tout different content that you've already done. And so every single one of those pieces of content that you create that you're able to link out to and publish on Mediavine is going to be a great source for revenue, because advertisers are going to want to spend against it, and you'll get that revenue from there.
And I don't think, is it best practices to have a video per every post you have? Yeah, of course. Would that be amazing? Of course. Yeah. Is that possible for all of us in this day and age? No. So I think that the best recommendation that we would give you is to start with your top post. Go use that RPM challenge that we give you guys all the time. Identify your top performing posts in the coming quarter, and then add video where you can to the posts that you know are going to get the traffic. And then with Mediavine's features, video features, you can be using your best of video on all your pages. So it doesn't have to be a specific video for each page. You can be gaining the video benefits, your RPM, just by creating that greatest hits video. So there's ways to get so many different benefits here just by getting out there and creating that one video. We've got a great quote. Paula Hurd Rhodes says, got my feet wet with Animoto, loved it. Easy for beginners, gave me confidence to tackle more complicated videos. So Stephanie Montague, this is an interesting comment. So she says, I just added a reader's favorite video created by Mediavine last night. It was her first time using video. One of her concerns is that her readers will find it too intrusive. Do you have any thoughts on that, Jeff?
Intrusive. I would love to hear in what way it would be intrusive. Without additional context, it's tough to say.
I agree.
Yeah.
Share a little bit more. Money Bliss says, every video I've made has brought in more advertising revenue. Yay. Michelle Palin says, heading into the holiday gift season, could you do a series of posts with accompanying videos around the gift giving theme? 12 American-made Christmas gifts for women, 12 American-made Christmas gifts for men. Oh, she was sharing a suggestion for Sarah. Great.
Yes.
Fantastic.
The lists, the list videos are tremendously popular right now, and because it gives people a reason to continue watching it. They want to see what the top 5 gifts are, what the top 5 ways of saving money are, and so those are getting back to sites with video. Having 88% of the time people are staying longer on the site. They want to consume that content, and so those listicles, that is what we call them, are a great way and a super easy way to create those videos. It just happens.
Totally agree. Julia Jordan just said, I follow all of Mediavine's recommendations, and adding video was one of the best things I could have done for revenue. Mine are really simple. I've been using Lumen 5, but they've made changes recently, and I'm not particularly loving those changes, so looking for a new way to make videos. Julia, Thanks for sharing that. And I'm sure Jeff might have some thoughts about different avenues you can take, but can we go ahead and share more than once? Let's share now that we have a really great offer for our audience and Mediavine publishers today.
Yeah, absolutely. We are so fortunate to be partnering up with Mediavine, and we want to really make it super simple for Mediavine publishers to be creating videos. So exclusive for Mediavine publishers, we're actually offering a 25% discount on Animoto professional and business subscriptions. And so I think we'll put the promo code in there. And that's going to be just a real easy way to get started, and we're super thrilled to be offering that to you guys. Yeah.
We're really excited too. So the code is in the comments, guys. Also, it's just Mediavine 25. So the word Mediavine, capital M, all lowercase, then the numbers 25. So that is the code. Please put it in there. I'm going to keep going through these comments, and then I want to show the incredible results that we've experienced with our two publishers that we did the case study with. So Clarissa was posting, our marketing associate posted, should all videos include text? We put a blog post in there from Animoto to share on that.
Yeah, and one quick note on that one is that they really should all contain text.
Okay.
One of the things that we have learned through our partnerships with different platforms is that most people are actually watching the video with sound off.
Yeah.
Facebook put out a stat that said that 85% of videos that are viewed on Facebook are viewed with the sound off. And so, what we recommend is creating them and designing them for sound off, but delighting them with sound on. You should make it a sort of a delightful experience there.
Yeah.
And so, really, you just want to make it understandable without requiring that they turn the sound on to understand what that video says.
Awesome tip. Love that. Okay. Noreen Welburn-Rogers says, Jenny, do you recommend changing your best of videos for the various seasons or keeping with the same best of all the time? I worry my best of video is getting boring after a year. Jeff, do you have anything on that? And then I'll weigh in.
Yeah. It's always good to keep it fresh, especially if it's not difficult to make. So I always find that it's great to revisit what you've done and see if there are any changes to it. We do the same thing at Animoto with all of our templates and all of our recommendations. Things change over time. Best practices change over time. And so we're constantly evolving to continually offer up great tidbits that are really current for our subscribers and our readers. And so I would definitely recommend doing the same.
Absolutely. I think that's spot on, of course. And I would never say that creating more video is going to be a bad thing, or creating more content of any sort. I mean, creating content that, with the caveat that it needs to add value to your users and your audience. But if you can create a seasonal best of, I think that's a great idea. I think Q4, entering into our wonderful magical time that is coming up, I think creating a specific holiday entertaining or gift giving or anything like that, if you have a great selection of posts that you can feature in a roundup, that's perfect, and I think is great.
Yeah, and what we found as well is that there are tentpole events throughout the year that
for sure
people can rally around. Holidays is one, then you got Valentine's Day, and then Mother's Day, Father's Day, graduation, all of these things. The beginning of summer. And so seasonal adjustments are seasonal. It's a great opportunity for you to sort of reassess what content that you have that could resonate more with your audience, and then quickly create something that adheres to that.
100% agree. And then as you're doing the RPM challenge and identifying those top performing posts ahead of the season, then going and creating an incredible video using Animoto featuring those top performing posts. What better can you ask for? I think that's an amazing synergy that you can continue to showcase the posts that are going to be good performers, and then creating video for your new posts. Can't beat it. So Stephanie came back to us, Jeff. She said, intrusive because it starts automatically and it's quite large on the desktop view. Just wondering if between my pop-up subscription form and an autoplay video, it's too much going on while the person is trying to read the article. Okay, I have some thoughts on that, but Jeff, you go first.
There's something to that. We have seen different stats around expectation of viewers and having things autoplay. And so it's fine if it autoplays, but what we found is that if it autoplays on mute, it's better. I'm not sure if that's a specific, feature or capability within these types of videos. But yeah, there's something to that. It's not completely, off the rocker. But what are your thoughts, Jenny?
So I would say, first of all, I would look at what percentage of your traffic is desktop, Stephanie, and how many people are actually having to deal with that amount of pop-ups. Two, I would look at use a heat map on your site. We actually have a blog post about seeing where people are actually interacting with what on your site, and if that actually is something, if that pop-up that is coming is popping, is if it's on your homepage or is it every time someone visits a new place on your site. See actually if that's getting you what you want, if you're getting a return on the investment. We know you're going to get a monetary return on the investment for incorporating video. I don't know what the return on your investment is having that pop-up showing up over and over again, if that's actually giving you a good percentage of email signups. But I think that there's a lot of research you can do there.
By the way, the more I learn about Mediavine, the more I love it. You guys are doing a tremendous job with all these tools. With the heat map, I didn't, that's awesome. And then all the SEO tools that you have for video are just tremendous. Preparing for this, I was reading up on that, and just you guys are doing a bang up job on those. So.
Well, thanks. Hey, engineers. Hey, publisher support team, great job. So Michelle Palin wants to know when we posted that discount, and guys, again, Mediavine 25. She says, ooh, even if we're already signed up, she's month to month right now, but would love to get the discount. Is that possible?
Yep, absolutely. So what I would recommend doing, it's going to be a little bit anxious for you maybe, but I would turn off the auto renewal and let it lapse, and then once it's lapsed, then you can go ahead and purchase the subscription with the code, and it'll go right through. And if you have any problems with that, you can just reach out to me, and I'm sure we'll give my contact information out.
We absolutely can. Okay, so Megan Myers, who is our event coordinator, plans our Mediavine conferences and all of the other event-related things we do, which is a lot. She says, for those on the fence, I created a new video yesterday and had it uploaded to my site within 15 minutes. Crazy easy, you guys. So go for it. Do it. All right. Go ahead.
Class is Teal too.
You are nailing the branding, my friend. This is amazing. All right. So I would like to show a little bit of the results that our two publishers that worked with you to create their videos saw. So I'm going to put that on here. I'm going to screen share. There we go. All right. Let me make sure that we are okay. So our first one, can everyone see this, you guys? And everyone see the results. So for our first site, it was Christy from Money Bliss. She's actually in here watching. We appreciate it. So what we did was we compared March of 19 to June of 19. So it was one full month without any video on her site, and then one full month with. There was a 124% increase in her total earnings. Now, part of that is that based on year, we all know that advertising revenue varies by the season and spending from our partners and all that. But in March 2019, 0% of her total earnings were video. In June 2019, 14% of her total earnings were video. And she had a 17% increase in RPM from March 2019 to June 2019. Pretty black and white there. And then with our other publisher that you worked with, Gina from MoneyWise Moms, we were able to do, since Gina was with us a full year ago, we were able to do a year-over-year comparison, which is what we like to do. So we have less fluctuation in the spending of our partners. But we did June of 2018 and then June of 2019, which was one full month without video and one full month with. She experienced a 96% increase in total earnings. We're not obviously accounting for the other work that she's done to optimize her site and her RPM, but 24% of her earnings were from video exclusively. in June 2019, and then she had a 25% RPM increase from 2018 to 2019. So pretty impressive numbers there. If you're on the fence, get off the fence. It's not comfortable up there, and it's very easy to, with this discount, jump in and create some video.
Those are tremendous stats, by the way. I love
really,
seeing
it's really exciting. I can't honestly think of a person who said I incorporated video and did not see a revenue bump. It's very very rare, if at all. So I've got a question for you, Jeff, about what is setting Animoto apart from other video editing software. We've seen some people say Lumen 5. What makes Animoto special?
Yeah, so it really comes back to the architecture that we've built. We really took a page out of the website builders to make it really easy to create these videos in a drag and drop capacity. We wanted to make it easy, as we've talked about plenty of times. And so, creating the templates that have the best practices that are built in. We're working closely with a lot of our partners to define and to understand what those best practices are, and then build them in as they are evolving. And so we're always sort of up to date there. And so that when you're coming to Animoto to create these videos, that the ones that we have, the templates that we have, are going to perform the best. And so, so that's the first one. The other one is that it's flexible and extensible. Many of the other providers that may have templates don't necessarily allow you to break the mold. They don't allow you to add a new sort of element in there or remove a portion of the template if it doesn't fit perfectly. With our architecture, you can easily sort of get them in there and get them out and drag them, delete them, move them around. And so it's really a lot more extensible from that perspective. And then really the last one is we have what's called a block architecture. And I don't like using that word architecture because it sounds a little techy. But basically, what we allow you to do is to quickly and easily add different types of video blocks. You can add a photo block, a video block, a collage block, a logo block, a text block. And so what that allows us to do is roll out new types of blocks depending on what we're seeing in the market. What we're seeing have a great effect on engagement and clicks in videos. Perfect example, we just rolled out, I think it was maybe a month ago, we rolled out a photo burst block. So now you have the ability to get in there and add a series of images that will fire off in rapid succession. And you should see some of the videos that our customers are making right now. They are off the charts awesome because that added pop of the photo burst that's been made possible by our block architecture is really allowing them to create video that they wouldn't have been able to make in the past. So those are some of the benefits there. And I'm biased, but I'll say that our team and our support team and our content team is really second to none in terms of being thought leaders and really being advocates for our customers. So that's what makes us stick.
And I will return the compliment, as it sounds like you guys are working constantly to be innovating and incorporating Google's best practices and doing the things that not only are going to make amazing videos, but are going to make amazing videos that can be found in the search engines. So that's incredibly exciting.
Yeah, it's nice. We are I believe that we're the only video provider that has certified partnerships with Facebook, with Instagram, with LinkedIn, with Twitter, with YouTube. And so what that offers us an opportunity to do is work with them very closely to understand what the best practices are on given platforms and to build those into our templates. And we do that, not just by just talking about it. We do that through testing. Through testing different videos out there and different objectives and understanding what works and what doesn't. And those partnerships also offer us an opportunity to understand what's coming down the pike from these guys and be building in new templates and new functionality that is going to get the most out of it. A perfect example is YouTube. Actually, YouTube a little while ago rolled out this True View for Action. It's a new ad format that actually has a call to action in the video itself, in the video container. And so through that partnership, we were able to understand what that was going to look like. And before it was even launched, we had a template ready to go that actually got the most out of the True View for Action, ad, ad format. So that's a nice part as well, and that's part and parcel of my job as well here, which I love it. Just working with those different providers and yourself too, to understand what those best practices are, get them back to our team so that they can be cranking out constantly to make sure that we're always up to date with the latest and greatest.
And we love hearing that and hearing that you guys have the capacity working with Animoto to create video that is best practice for these different platforms. We know that Pinterest video is starting to become quite a thing. We actually have a speaker from Pinterest speaking in Austin at our conference that's going to be talking about Pinterest video, which is really exciting and something that is the next thing, a way to generate traffic and get people to your site. So it's very exciting. Okay, we've got a ton of comments. Sarah Swathart Wagner says, thank you for your advice. I'm feeling some inspiration forming, thinking about roundups or content teasers. Do you have a basic formula, length, number of slides? What should the first and last images be? And would she find the answer to some of her questions within the templates that already exist in Animoto?
Absolutely, yeah. So if you just check out the templates that we have right there, one of them is a blog teaser, the one that we actually showed earlier. And you can get a sense for the narrative arc there, and it's just an introduction of your brand, along with a title of the video, and then a top 5 or an order of the content that you want to be displaying, and then ending it with a logo, so that your brand is in there. You can also throw a watermark in there. If you have the logo, you can throw it into a watermark so you have a presence there throughout the video itself. But yeah, it's very formulaic. Specifically those types of videos are very formulaic, and they just work. They flat out work.
And love hearing that. Okay, guys, just to remind you, you're getting 25% off with the code Mediavine25. What are they getting 25% off, Jeff?
Annual Animoto professional or business subscription.
Awesome. Love it. Okay. Patrick Hess, can you briefly explain best practice for placing videos? For example, embed code within post for a different but relevant post, summary of current post, featured video across site, a little of both, etc. Any thoughts on that? Oh, go ahead. You go.
Me go. And so I'm assuming right now that we're talking about video on your site through Mediavine. I don't really know if there's a best practice on what to do there. My suggestion is to just try different combinations of things. What we have seen a lot of benefit with is having a teaser of that blog post actually in the blog post itself, so that when people are scrolling down, they see the title and they see a little bit of the start of it, and then there's a video that actually represents what the blog post is about. We've seen that gets great traction because people want to just click that and see if it's worth reading the rest of it. And so having that there is great. I know that other publishers are also promoting other blog posts with video in the actual in other blog posts.
Right. Yeah.
And so that's been proven to actually drive some great traffic to your other posts. And so really, there's, with regards to that one, I wouldn't necessarily say, at least I don't have a best practice on that one. I can just tell you what we've seen done, what we've seen work, but I would just encourage you to just try different things and see what works for your audience.
Absolutely great advice. Always, we are big fans of A/B testing and trial and error and recording your data. Actually, Eric Cockburger, our CEO, has talked a lot about video placement and best ways to monetize with that. He's shared a blog post, how the videos work with SEO. And then last Teal Talk, which was a couple weeks ago, I had Eric on and he talked about video placement there. So that's on our Facebook page. It's last week or 2 weeks ago's video. It's still available for you to watch. He talks about it in there. And then I don't know, are you lurking, Eric? do you want to chime in? He's usually lurking and we'll comment. While we're waiting on Eric to respond, Michelle Palin said, I created my first Animoto video at the beginning of January. It is a simple slideshow video that accompanied my top 10 recipes of 2018 blog post. I just checked, and that simple video that took her under 2 hours to make made her $2,700 so far in 2019.
What?
Yeah.
Amazing. Nice job. Holy crap. I would love to see that video. Can we ask her for
Yeah, Michelle, will you post that in the comments? I think she's still here. So Maria P. Okay, we'll do this quick one first. Stephanie Montague said, can we still do the free trial first to test before going in and purchasing the discount?
No, you must. Yeah, of course. Yes, you can.
I didn't see it only.
Yeah, no, try it out. Try out that free trial. It's absolute. We want you to be happy before you're pulling out your credit card and paying for it. So please do.
Love it. Maria P. Gomez says, what about page speed? Will it slow down the site?
Yes. You and I talked about this a little while ago. And again, Mediavine has built in some tremendous tools to actually optimize video page load specifically with that in mind. Do you want to talk to them about that, Jenny?
Some of the things we've done to do page speed. I wish I had. I don't know if Eric's here. I wonder if his ears are ringing. He's loves to talk about all of these things. So let me actually see if I can get the link. I'm talking to my team to see about Eric popping in and talking a little bit about that. But yes, everything about the Mediavine video player is optimized for page speed. That's the first consideration that we have, to make them the most optimized that they possibly can be, and to have the least impact on your overall page speed. On everything's lazy loaded. So I'm going to see if Eric can contribute in, and then Jeff, did you have anything to share about what Animoto and what results you've seen with page speed?
Well, I do know that page speed is important with regards to SEO and how Google ranks you, and so you really want to keep that in mind. And the lazy loading is a great way of doing it. How Mediavine is setting you up for success there. With the embeds, having an embed code, if you're embedding it somewhere, it really it matters less, because you're not actually putting that huge video into the frame. You're putting it in, and then they can press play, and that's when it starts streaming. And so the page load isn't impacted by that one. But again, the tools and the configuration options that Mediavine are really set up to optimize you for that page load, which I love.
Right. Everything. We're not going to recommend a practice that's going to cause you to tank your page speed. Like that's not how we roll around here. So we've got Money Bliss. Christy chimed in and said that per page speed has not been impacted negatively at all with the addition of video, at least not with how we are integrating it. We're posting all the blog posts about our page speed, the lazy loaded video player, all of the different speed aspects of our page speed and video implemented with our video player. We have our own video player that we built from scratch. We didn't use any additional, we didn't take someone else's technology and piggyback on it, or we completely built the video player from scratch, and we talk about that in a blog post. Erica talked about it. So let's share that too. Michelle shared her post with the video, so you can see that.
Excellent. Thank you, Michelle.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. And then let's get back to, let's brainstorm a little bit. So some people are asking questions about what the best type of subject matter for their videos. We can do, again, the featured videos that play on your site with the ads. What are some ideas for topics for featured videos for different niches? And everyone contribute in here. I would say that Noreen Welburn Rogers just chimed in and said she just totaled her video revenue for the year. She said, I've got to run and make lots more videos. See ya.
Bye.
Bye, Noreen. We completely understand if you're tired of listening to us talk and want to go make more money now. Completely understood. So what have you seen that have been the most successful in terms of for audience and engagement, and then in terms of revenue? I don't know if you have any perspective on that, but for the featured video, what do you see work with some of the niches?
Yeah, a featured video just being something that tells your story or something about you or what the reader should expect by coming to your site is always a great one. Because you use video to attract an audience and tell your story, and so conveying that through video is super important. People love to learn stuff. They love tutorials. They love how-tos. And so if you have if you have something that you want to be teaching people along those lines, that's a great one as well. We've talked about blog teasers and burned a hole in that one. So go out and make those because they are super simple to make. Q&As, what we found as well is that if on your pages or through your social channels, you're getting a lot of the same types of questions, creating a Q&A video is a great way of doing it, because it doesn't really, the questions are already there and you got the knowledge that people want to understand. And so taking that and converting it to video is a really great way of doing it as well. And then just, industry insights and trending news. You are the experts on your topic. And so people want to understand what is going on. We actually worked with LinkedIn to create a few templates that were specific to what's very popular on LinkedIn, and industry insights and trending news and thought leadership were among the highest used there. And so people really want to just understand, they're thirsty for knowledge there. So, and as you'll notice, these aren't really specific to any niche. It's very broad. It's a very horizontal play, because all of these can actually apply to whatever you're talking about, whether it's food or auto or finance or whatever. These will all apply to those industries, no matter what they are.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that those are amazing suggestions. I love the answering questions, because it's one of the recommendations we give when we're talking to our publishers about ways to lengthen their posts organically rather than just adding filler, answering the questions that people have for them in their comments, answering the questions that people are Googling, going in and adding that value is really kind of the name of the game for anything, whether you're creating a video or writing content or taking pictures or whatever, any of those, continuing to add more value and establish yourself as more of an expert.
Yep.
So LaShawn Wilt said, how long is the code for 25% off good for?
It's good for, we don't have an end right now, but
perpetuity.
Yeah,
We don't know.
It's going. There's no end, but start making videos now.
Yes, before Q4, do it now. Don't wait. This is when you're going to have a lot of eyeballs on your site, be getting those awesome CPMs from video. Maximize it. Do it. So we've already talked a little bit about this. So we know that you are already optimized and got in a great position for any Animoto user to be able to create video for the different social media platforms. Can you use it for Instagram stories, Pinterest pins? All of that is already set up and ready to go in there?
Absolutely, yeah. You can use it for pins. You can use it for Instagram stories. In fact, we have an app for iOS platform that is specifically designed for stories, and it's in beta right now, but it's in the App Store, and so we're really excited about that, because it's really geared specifically for Instagram stories, and will allow you to produce outstanding videos that are very Instagram-y, and so encourage you to check that out as well. If you look for in the App Store for Animoto social videos, you'll find it there. And again, that you get usage with that, you get access to that with your subscription as well. But yeah, and we have exports to Pinterest from Animoto itself, so you can create your videos and then export them as pins very easily.
That's so awesome. So what if people want to bring in their own music? Is it just the music that is already there in Animoto? Can they upload music? What's the deal there?
Yeah, so that's a tricky one. So not tricky from a technical perspective. Yes, you can upload your own music, but we would caution you from doing that, because just because you go to Apple and you buy a song does not give you the rights to use that song in works of art and derivative works. It requires a special licensing called sync rights. And so what that basically does is it prevents people from using, let's say, a Beatles song with something that is politically, motivating that the Beatles don't want to be associated with, right? So those sync rights are very important. And so while you can upload music and use them in your video, just make sure that you have the appropriate rights for it. That's something that Animoto has sort of taken the guesswork out of because of its complexity by partnering with Triple Scoop Music and offering a really wide array of songs. We have 3,000 tracks in our library. Typically, if you go to Triple Scoop, each song will cost you $60 to license for a video, but we've got them all included in there, and the library has grown as well.
So we've got a couple of questions. Money Bliss said that the new app, which sounds amazing, doesn't work on older iPhone models, unfortunately, which, what about Android for Android users? Do we have any?
Not yet. Not yet, but I do want to tell you that don't fear. We are going through something right now that is actually going to bring all that functionality that is in the iOS app to the actual website.
Great.
We are super excited about that. Where we're bringing all that functionality over. And so that should be coming. I don't really have an idea of when, but it's in progress. And so you'll just stay tuned.
Super exciting. Michelle James says she's trying to enter the promo code and it's not supportive. She says it's only on the yearly membership. That is accurate, correct?
That is accurate. Yeah, it's on the annual membership.
It's for an annual membership. So talk to us a little bit about, for people so there's a trial version of Animoto where people can go in and see it. What are the benefits of upgrading to that yearly version and going professional as opposed to free?
Yeah, so it's really the things that we've been talking about. Getting access to the Getty Images stock library of photos and video clips. There's a much broader template selection. Larger library of commercially cleared music. You have more fonts available to you. I think we have 3 fonts with the personal version, but with professional you get 40 there. You can put in custom colors. So instead of picking from a palette of, I think it's like 16 colors, you can actually put in your specific hex code for your brands.
Awesome.
You can be on brand there. You can put in watermarks, like we talked about, to actually have your logo persistent throughout the video. And the biggest one is that you don't have Animoto branding at the end of your video. I mean, we love it when we get that sort of when it says made with Animoto, but we know that that brands don't really want that, and so that's the benefit of upgrading there.
Fantastic, excellent. So let's talk about how much Animoto is. What is the typical cost of the professional yearly membership?
Yeah, so the professional yearly membership is typically, I think it is $388 a year. And that gets you all of, that provides you access to the platform and allows you to create unlimited videos there. So there's no limit on the number of videos that you can make.
Exciting.
And so, with the promotion that we have with Mediavine, with the partnership through Mediavine, it actually lowers it to $291 for that subscription.
Yay, that is exciting. And as Lance asked earlier, if your subscription lapses for some crazy reason, you will not immediately lose the rights to the music on your video. None of that is going to happen. Okay.
No. And what we say, and this is getting maybe a little bit to legalese, so I'm going to keep it really high level, but we give you a perpetual license to use videos that you create on Animoto. So even if your subscription lapses, you can still use those videos for your purposes. You can put it out on your website into perpetuity.
Awesome. I love in perpetuity. It's one of my favorite legal terms to throw around and feel extremely intelligent. So thank you.
I don't love using it, especially in this kind of an environment, but some people that like to dot I's and cross T's will appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, okay, we are almost out of time, which is crazy and sad. We flew by, but this is so exciting that I think a lot of people are signing up right now. But before we go, I wanted to ask you, if I wanted to become an Animoto expert and get started and just jump in, where are the places I need to go? Are there specific blog posts? Is there a specific tutorial, a quick start guide? And I will give you a second to think of it while I make a couple of quick announcements. Okay. So take a second.
All right.
Guys, again, we are offering our Animoto, our friends there are being kind enough to offer 25% off their yearly professional membership. We just told you what that is going to save you. The code is Mediavine25. We posted it in the comments. There is absolutely no reason not to go start making videos now, so go make videos. Our next episode of Teal Talk is going to be Thursday, October 17th at 2 p.m., 3 p.m. Eastern Time, with the founder of Wonderful and the CEO of Women in Travel Summit, Beth Santos, and then influencer and diversity expert Marty Lewis. We're going to be talking about diversity and inclusion and ways we can help get everyone on board with the blogging industry and the content creator world. So that's going to be an exciting hour. We're really looking forward to that. And I really want to thank my guest of today, Jeff Kahsen from Animoto. Jeff, how do people get started? What are your tips to jumping in?
All right, so jumping in, I would suggest we have a guide called The Complete Guide to Video Marketing. Megan on our team is just cranking out some amazing content that gets you started very easily, with a crawl, walk, run approach. And so we have a complete guide to video marketing, and I had linked to it there, and we can send that out as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then honestly, we have a social video marketing community on Facebook.
Nice.
Is 11,000 members strong with video marketers thriving and striving and aspiring to be video marketers. It is a great place to get ideas, to get inspired, to get feedback on videos that you created. And so I would definitely recommend going and checking out the Animoto social video marketing community on Facebook. It is a great place to get started there.
Crowdsourcing is one of the favorite ways that Mediavine publishers like to learn, and that's incredibly a great value to have with people, that they can go and shoot ideas off of people and ask people questions and get feedback on their videos. That's super exciting. Jeff, it has been a pleasure having you here today.
Thank you so much. It's been a lot of fun. I appreciate it.
And a special thank you to our publishers who worked with Jeff and who gave video a shot, Gina from Money Wise Moms and Christy from Money Bliss. Thank you so much, guys. And we will see you in a couple weeks, everybody. Thank you.
Happy video making, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.